Hi everyone, it's Rockin' Renee, and I wanted to share with you what I'm working on this week. Now I know I shared that I have gotten back into crafting. Well, I've always been crafting, but more frequently, and I'm hoping to actually blog my creations. I frequently don't, even though I am crafting. So I did want to get back into trying to share some of what I'm creating with you. One of the things that I started buying a few of many years ago when it all started was buying some alcohol markers. At that time I only bought the Pro markers, and then I think I bought a few of the Stampin' Up ones, the blendabilities, and that's all I had bought at that time. Since then I've added a couple of Shinhan, I think that's how you say it, Shinhan markers, and then last month I went to like a beginner's Copic class. Basically, really all we did is kind of talk about the numbering system, and we played with a few items, just beginning blending. So my artwork definitely reflects my novice ability to actually color. So please don't judge the coloring. And my collection is so sparse, I've learned that I have got to buy so many more markers because I mean I can only do so much with that collection. I know, it's sad. So I did want to share with you again what I've been working on. As I get back into coloring, I realized that, well, I started pulling out some of my stamp sets, so that's a great thing. I have so many stamp sets. I mean, I have a whole cabinet of them that just are unloved, because ever since I've discovered Cricut, I mean really all I do is Cricut cuts, and I just fell in love with Cricut. So it does let me go back to where I began, and that's with stamps. In doing that, I've also discovered that there's a lot of images that I would still like to use, or you see so many cute things that people create, or you see a new stamp set from a company and I know you want to create it. So what I thought is, I wonder if there's any way to manipulate the Cricut images into something that you can color with, because that might help minimize on the costs of getting back into this hobby of coloring. So what I did is I took some Halloween images and I made them into drawing patterns, or I guess drawing files. And then I wanted to see how the Copics and the alcohol markers colored with the drawing. I tried to flatten them with a white background, and I couldn't do it. So if you know how to do that, please share. If not, what I did is I basically made all the backgrounds white, and then the black part I asked for it to be colored, I mean drawn in. You would select the pen version of the images, and then also white as the color. And then that's the way I was able to manipulate these 5 images that I'll be sharing with you, so that I could make them coloring patterns for the Cricut. The other thing I did that I really liked, because I like when you can see that little white trim around. Now some people don't, so if you don't like that, all you would simply do is you would deselect the shadow feature. But I liked the shadow. I like that little white ring around the images. I think it just adds a very clean cut, a clean image. So I asked for it, and of course selected white so that it would give me that little shadow, that offset white shadow. So here's the first cut or image I did. It's a pumpkin, and I also made him a little shiny. I don't know if you could see that. So that's the pumpkin and jack-o'-lanterns. And then the next one, this is a teddy bear. He's going to a costume party. And I think these are all from Critters, Crazy Critters, or Critters 2. I'll have to look that up. I'll put that in the post. And then here's the ghost. And The little Dracula bumblebee. Crazy Critters. I think it was Crazy Critters too. He's real cute. Whoa. I don't know if you can see the details on him. He has little bats on his background. So I always like to use texture when you can. It really adds to the card. And the glitter, all those are glitter too. It's a glitter background. Now that came that way, and then I added the bat embossing. Here we did the chevron embossing. Yeah, and then we put some sparkle on the owl and on the... I actually put some coloring, the Copics on top of the moon, and then put some glitter as well. It's hard to see that. The ghost, made him a little bit shiny again. My newest favorite pin to add shine, it's the Wink of Stella. I think that's what it's called. It's this pin right here. It doesn't say anything on it. I think that's... Oh yeah, there it is. It's Spectrum Noir Sparkle. Crystal clear. So if you like that, and it's just so easy to, you just draw on the shine, and you could see from the images that you could still get the color that comes through. So that's what I liked on him. On the bear, I think I did the nose. I like shine. A bit of glimmer goes a long way. And then again, the pumpkin had some. So I'll share my design space file with you if you want to give this a try, and then let me know what you think. Thank you. Hello, my crafting friends. I wanted to go ahead and show you how to make a Cricut cut, a colorable, like in the video. Don't look at my mess. I know. It's a hot mess. I have like 6 different Halloween projects going on at the same time. Okay, so we are in Cricut Design Space, and you are going to go ahead and select a new project, and then we're going to get images. I am going to show you the ghost today. Scroll down until we find our friendly ghost. Okay, there he is. Alright, so all we're going to do for him, and I've tried playing with flattening and it doesn't quite work unless you can make shadow images of each of the different layers. So if you can't do that, then you can't flatten it, because that's actually optimally, I think, the best way, because then it prints on your printer. You definitely won't have any bleeding because you're using the ink off your printer. It doesn't bleed with the Copics markers or the alcohol markers. Now if you're using just colored pencils, it doesn't matter how you do it. If you do watercolors, it may matter too on what kind of pen you use. Now I don't have any kind of special pen adapters. I just use whatever came, or just the hole that comes in the actual Cricut Explore or the new Cricut Maker. I don't have that adapter where you can use other types of pens. So I just use what Cricut gave us, and it worked. It worked with the alcohol markers. Now I will say that in areas where I kept going over and over, again, I'm a novice at coloring with my Copics, so in some areas where I went over and over and over, it started to bleed through some of the black from the outline of the images, for instance in the ghost. But if you're good at it and you're just going over it maybe once or twice, you're not going to get that bleeding. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I have my ghost. I'll make them a little bit bigger just so you can see it for the tutorial. Again, the great thing about this, making your own colorables with the design space, is that you can size it up or down once it's done to any size you would like. Now, you can't do that with a normal stamp, so that's great. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I like that white image, like I said in the previous video, so I'm going to go ahead and, I want to see it. I want to blink or touch on that little eye. I'm going to press white as the background color, because that's how I'm going to want to see it once it's all colored in. Okay, now the next thing you want to do is we're going to ungroup so that we can contour the different layers as we go through. So I'm going to just start from the bottom and go up. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write. So I want that to be right. white. I always do the white. And then here we're going to write, and then it'll only leave that one as a black as the option. Right. Again, it's leaving black because it can't make those white. And then right, and it stays black. So there's our ghost. There's our friendly ghost. And just a couple more things we need to do. Now, see, I don't like that double layer there. So when you're cutting cardstock, that would be covered. But I definitely don't want that to show through on my printing out with a marker. So what the next step I did is I simply would press the I to hide a layer and see if it affected the overall image. Yep, that took away his eyes, so I want that image. The next one I went up. That was pieces of his eye patch and his hat, so we definitely want that one too. Missing one of them. So here. There we go. See, so that didn't take out anything except for that extra layer that I don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that checked off or hidden. Now we're going to go to the next layer, and I'm going to press contour, because what I don't need as well is I don't need all of the little placement images that are listed to help you better place items when you're using cardstock. And the only thing I'm going to leave is his smiley face and his eye and his overall shape. And I'm missing one more. There we go. And then you just exit out. Okay, so we've got him. The next layer is the hat. I'm going to use the contour and do the same thing. I'm going to go through and I'm going to hide the things that I don't need. Again, basically they're just the marks that are used for or to help you with placement of the cardstock. And then of course we want both cheeks, so I already know I don't even have to do anything with that. And the little skeleton on the hat doesn't have anything extra either. Now there are 2 layers there on the hat, but if I look at the hat here again and contour it, well, I guess if the outside layer is what showed too, and you can't take away just the top, so you have to leave it. And the other piece of it is actually on the ghost. And I guess you could if you wanted to. You could do like a cut, a slice off that part and then add it back, but that would be way too much trouble. So we're just going to leave them just like that. We're going to go ahead and select all, and we're going to group it again so that we're able to size up and down as needed for our stamping. Most little stamp sets that come out now are about 2 inches tall, 2 to 3 inches. So I would think that that'd be a great size to color in. If you wanted a little bit smaller, if you want to just do maybe like a little 3x3 card, that would be a cute size, and you could just put a little word. But again, I think the average is about 2 inches, so we'll keep them there. And then we are going to attach so that all of those markings are attached to them, so that when we come through to actually make it, the pen is going to draw all of the lines onto the white background. If you don't like that white background, just take it off. Well, do it before you attach it, and you are good to go. And that's it. Thank you.